Hmm. Hello. It's a fourth line day. We are in gate 53, the gate of beginnings, and the fourth line is called assuredness, the capacity to begin things. This is one of the most powerful forces that we have in the wheel. The fourth line we know is transpersonal. It knows that there is something else out there. It's fixed and it's influential. In the exaltation, we have the ability to maintain the strength of one's individuality in complex and often awkward situations that ensures continued security and development. This is the pressure to maintain one's individuality in confused beginnings. So in other words, when we get to this point, it's already recognized that you need the other. The fourth line is transpersonal. You know that you need the other for completion. And this assuredness is about maintaining your identity within all of that. Because beginnings are, by their very nature, confusing. You know, it's like mutation. The moment mutation arrives, it's confusing. And until it's been ordered out, you know, that information stays confusing until you can make sense of it or you can logically place it all together and explain it. There's no way of knowing what a new beginning will lead to. That's the process, you know, this is the mystery that we live in. And it all begins with a level of confusion. It's interesting when you look at it because the gate of confusion it's that other end of the whole circuit, if you like. You could look that you've got the root pressure here in gate 53 to get things started. And then up in the head, we have the mental pressure in gate 64, which is that gate of confusion. And that is bringing its sort of fuel to the other end there of the process, the abstract process. So the gift of the 53-4 is to be able to be okay within that confusion. You know, if you've got this gate, then it's your beginning. Doesn't matter. Notice the language that we have in this exaltation: security, development, and protection. You know, these terms are all around this here. For the abstract being, their cycle is their well-being. If they cannot go through the cycle correctly, they become very unhealthy. Must go through the cycle. This is their well-being. In the detriment, we have the persistent difficulty with embarrassing or awkward situations where normal emotional reactions may prove detrimental. Individual pressure for beginnings that creates awkward and sometimes embarrassing situations. These are people who, when they're ready to start something, it can be at the wrong time. It's like they might start an argument with you as soon as you open your eyes on your birthday, you know, because they have a gift for that. And you might say to them, why do you have to start that now? But if you're living out your own nature, you know, even if you have the worst, most inappropriate timing, if you are correct and you're not honoring your timing, then it's not going to work for you. And if your partner spends all of their time constantly asking you, why did you have to say that then? Why did you have to do that then? Why couldn't you have waited? Well, then they are not really honoring who you are. So maybe they're not really for you because they don't get it. You know, they can either tell you to shut up or they can just deal with whatever you're doing, but they don't really get to ask you why. Timing is so precious to each and every one of us, actually. You know, we are a timed mechanism. And this is very linked to the emotional system, the abstract. It feeds through the solar plexus. So in the same way, we find when the wave is active and someone is down on their wave, asking them why is not helpful because it makes it up in the mind and it makes people then tell a story about why they're feeling down, when actually it's a chemical process. It's part of the mechanic. It's how the wave is designed to operate. And the same when people are very high on their wave. although very often you're not asked why when you're up here. People are just very happy that you are, because they're either going to join in with you or they're amplifying what you're doing and reflecting it back to you. And we have the same thing here in this abstract, the beginning of this abstract process. If you have that line of starting things when, and the timing might not be right for other people, but it's correct for you, well, that's who you are. That's how you are designed to express this particular experience of a new beginning. So the gift here is assuredness. Oh, this is the name of the line, assuredness. When your partner asks you why, you have the assuredness to say, because the timing was right for me. This is a one-tracked, fixed need to begin. These fourth lines, they get very fixed on these things. So if you see somebody with the 53-4, the one thing for them to recognize, because it's about an abstract process, which is deeply related to that emotional system, is they have to be very careful about the commitments that they make in relationship. And the mind can get really twitchy about beginning things. The moment that anything goes wrong in a relationship, that one-tracked mind will want to start something new. It will want to pack its bags and get out, start something new. So if you're carrying this energy, be really careful about the nature of the commitments that you get into, because there's always going to be this deep drive within you to start something new. And it could be a new relationship, it could be a new job. So you have to be very clear about your authority and about the authority within you that is making these decisions to commit yourself to something in order for you to be healthy, for that energy around the new beginning to be healthy. And this is true for the whole gate. It's true for the whole design, really, I suppose, but specifically for this 53-4 that we're talking about here. And the grounding is coming through the earth in 54-4, and this is called enlightenment in darkenment. Ra says this is the line of prayer. He said, I think I read somewhere that this was the most spiritual line in the whole of the Ravi Ching. When he talks about it being prayer, it's not necessarily prayer as we think about it. It's not about a dogma, a religion, but it's that deep pressure to be recognized by the forces that create this mechanic, control this mechanic. So how does this ground the assuredness of the 53-4? Well, maybe, when you're under constant pressure to begin something new and are holding the assuredness that it's correct for you, or perhaps having the grounding in the recognition of the forces that control the mechanic, maybe this can help you to follow through in your nature and not become homogenized. The moon is still in gate 59. No, it's gate 29, sorry, gate 29, which is the sacral gate of the abysmal, saying yes. And it moves into 59 at 15:02. This is the gate of dispersion, the gate of sexuality. It's the ability to break down barriers to achieve union. It's a gate of fertility. It's a naturally intimate gate, able to break through auric barriers as it looks for union. Strategy and authority are essential with this gate because its ability to get through to people, to penetrate through the aura, it's so powerful. So when you're entering into any relationship, not specifically an intimate relationship, but any relationship, strategy and authority are essential, because you've got to take care of your own energy. You don't want to be wasting your energy on superficial or dissatisfying relationships. And then gate 40, the moon moves into gate 40 at 2:11 tomorrow morning. This is the gate of deliverance, the gate of aloneness. It's the love of work combined with the willpower to exert oneself, naturally taking on the role of provider within a tribe or a community structure. This gate requires that our work is successful and it's appreciated in order to hold on to this role of provider and to continue to look after the needs of others. has the energy of, yes, I will work for you. I will work hard for you, because the 40 loves work, works very hard for its community and its tribe. In the bargain that it will make, I will work hard for you and you can be loyal and appreciate me. This is the bargain that gets made in gate 40. So this is our transit for the moment and the 4th line. I will see you again for the 5th line tomorrow, and enjoy the transit. And I invite you, if you ever feel that you would like to, as we go through these, maybe the line changes, you're sensitive and you feel these line changes, to sit somewhere and observe what's going on around you when the line changes. It can be a very interesting observation. If it's something that calls to you to do that, sometimes it's easier to feel the gate as the gate changes. And certainly sometimes when we move from the quarter, and when we change from, which is in a couple of transits time, we move from the quarter of civilization into the quarter of duality. Sometimes those changes can be a little bit more noticeable. And sometimes, again, going from a gate that you have consistently in your design into a gate that is usually open for you, and so you're feeling it through a transit, that can be something that you feel more. So have a play with all of those things and let me know what it feels like for you if you'd like to. I'd love to hear your experience of these things. And yeah, so until tomorrow, I shall love you and leave you. Have a really good day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, go gently.